You ever pour your whole soul into something, thinking it's finally going to buy you peace, and then end up smack in the middle of the craziest war of your life? Yeah, that happened. 6 years of grinding out a finance startup from shoebox apartment, eating ramen, chasing investors who treated me like I was just another spreadsheet. Then by some miracle or maybe just stubbornness, I sold it for enough to disappear, to finally breathe again. I put every sin, every sleepless night, every bit of regret into one thing, my so-called reset button. Peace and quiet, that's all I wanted. Some place where the loudest thing I'd hear would be birdsong. Certainly not some clipboard-wielding dictator screeching at me on my own front lawn that I didn't belong. That's how it started, honest to God. First morning in my new place, the sun's barely up. I'm sitting on the porch with a mug of decent coffee, actually thinking, yeah, this is it. And then, bam, she appears out of nowhere like some demon, summoned by the smell of fresh paint and hope. Clipboard up like a riot shield, face set in a scowl so deep it could plow fields, marching right across my grass like she owned the sky. No knock, no wave, nothing. Just this, presence. I call the place Willow Creek Retreat, tucked into the rolling hills outside Brighton, Ohio. 800 square meters of open land, one glorious parcel outside the Stonehaven Estates Homeowners Association. That's the key, right there, outside. Not on the line, not adjacent. One parcel out. I didn't just buy the story. I bought the insurance policy. I did my homework, too. I wasn't some wide-eyed first-time buyer walking into a bear trap. 12 hours straight at the county clerk's office, plot maps, survey markers, cross-checking until my brain felt like sand. Marker 47B. My land ends exactly 15 meters east of it. Stonehaven starts on the other side. Clean, legal, bulletproof. My old college buddy Ray Chandler. He's a lawyer, the kind who always finds trouble in the fine print. Just shook his head when I told him I was buying next to an HOA. Buddy, you're asking for boundary disputes. I laughed, waved my paperwork around. That was my first mistake, believing facts matter more than ego. Should have known better. So, yeah, the cameras went up that very afternoon. High-def, wide-angle, motion-triggered, cloud backup, the whole 9 yards. Not because I expected trouble, but because in business I learned paperwork and video save you more arguments than charm ever will. Turns out, that little dose of paranoia saved my bacon. 90 minutes into my first real morning, there she was. Black SUV, polished to a shine, rolling up like it was a presidential motorcade. She steps out, charcoal suit, heels clicking, clipboard under her arm like a drawn sword. Didn't knock, didn't wait, just strutted straight across my lawn. I open the door, try to be friendly, big mistake. Morning, can I help you? She doesn't even blink. Looks me up and down like I'm something she needs to scrub off her tax return. I'm Cecilia Vance, president of the Stonehaven Homeowners Association. Why didn't you register with us before moving in? All business, like she's reading off a warrant. I stay calm. This property isn't part of the HOA mess. Vance. County records show the boundary line runs 15 meters west of here. Her jaw tightens. She waves a printed map, doesn't even look at it, just waves it like it's gospel. Impossible, she snaps. Every property on Sycamore Lane falls under our management. I don't argue. I just go get my certified surveyor's map, official county seal, and everything, and spread it right there on the porch rail. Here, marker 47B. My property line ends here. Your jurisdiction starts there. She barely glances at it, then shoves it back at me, voice sharp enough to cut steel. I don't care what this says. You live here, you follow our rules. Membership fees $3,500 a year. Deadline Sunday. She holds out a packet. I don't take it. I'm not a member. Vance. I don't need to be. For a second, she just stares at me like I've grown a second head. Then she spins, heads for her SUV, looks back, and the look in her eyes isn't angry anymore. It's cold. I'll be back, she says, with the proper documentation. And just like that, my coffee's cold and my stomach's in knots. I logged the incident right away. Camera footage saved, spreadsheet started. Title, Incident Log, Cecilia Vance. Welcome to the Cold War, I guess. 3 days later, she's back, this time with backup. I'm fixing up a section of the old fence when her SUV screeches into my driveway. Yeah, my driveway. Out hops a guy in khakis and a polo, portfolio in hand. Alastair Finch, allegedly the HOA legal counsel. No pleasantries, they just march straight into my backyard. You're in violation of Code 14.2, Cecilia barks, pointing at my fence. Unauthorized construction. No permit. I wipe my hands. Not new construction, just patching up an old fence. No permit required. Finch steps forward, radiating that smug legal confidence. We have the authority to inspect any property in our jurisdiction. I remind him, again, this isn't their jurisdiction. She pulls out the same wrinkled map, lays it on her SUV like the Ten Commandments. I go get the official survey, county seal, GPS coordinates, everything. Finch leans in, and for the first time he looks unsure. Cecilia, he mutters. This appears to show. She cuts him off with a glare. I don't care what it appears to show. This neighborhood is under our oversight. That's how it's always been. That's not how property law works. I shoot back. Then she pulls out her secret weapon, a bright orange violation sticker. Slaps it on my front door. Notice of violation. Mandatory relocation within 7 days. My blood boils, but I keep it together. I document everything. Photos from every angle, time-stamped. Peel the sticker off, hold it up, and tell her, you have no authority here. She just smiles that cold smile. Document whatever you want. Let's see who they believe. A homeowners association with 30 years standing, or some outsider who thinks he can ignore the rules. She starts snapping photos of my house, my yard, even my windows. That was it. Enough, I say. You're trespassing. Leave now, or I'm calling the police. She actually laughs. Go ahead. I'd love to see you explain to them why you're living here illegally. 7 days. She leaves, but I know it's not over. That night, I call Ray. Fake eviction notice, fake legal counsel, and now she's peering in my windows. Good, he says, cool as ever. Let her keep escalating. Every step she takes, your case gets stronger. But escalation's one thing. What came next was another. The next week, I get a demand letter for $10,000 from a so-called HOA law firm. Ray checks. No such firm exists in the bar registry. Flat-out fraud. He wants me to report it, but I want to dig deeper. I poke around the neighborhood for him. Turns out, 17 complaints in 4 years. Fines for flowers, forced repainting, even a family who sold their house at a loss just to escape. One name pops up a lot. Eleanor Green, a retired teacher who fought Cecilia over a garden gnome. A garden gnome, I swear. She tells me Cecilia doesn't back down, ever. Then the phone rings, unknown number, clipped woman's voice. Mr. Harrington, this is Officer Vance with the county sheriff's office. You need to vacate within 24 hours. I ask for her badge number. Silence. Then she hangs up. Impersonating law enforcement. Check. Next day, a fake sheriff's cruiser parks outside. Guy in knockoff uniform, clipboard in hand. I record everything. I'm here to serve a property seizure order. Can I see your badge? I ask. He fumbles, then bolts when I press him. I get the plate on video. Send it to Ray. Let them keep digging, he says. Day 12, dead of night, power goes out. Check the cameras, 2 figures in dark clothes. Cecilia and Finch. Wire cutters. They slice the main power line and take off. I call a licensed electrician. He documents everything. Adds the bill to my growing file. Psychological warfare kicks into high gear. Cecilia parks her SUV outside my house for hours at a time, starts grilling neighbors about me, makes up stories about noise and dangerous behavior. Then comes the trash, fast food bags and rotting garbage dumped on my lawn, graffiti sprayed in blood-red paint. Get out, 2 feet high across my wall. I stand there, staring at the paint, and something inside me just snaps. Not with fear, with clarity. She's not going to stop, and now it's not just about me. I take 63 photos of the damage, document the cleanup, add the $600 bill to the evidence. Then I get to work. County surveyors come out, reaffirm my boundary. I drive downtown, meet with the Property Rights Defense League, a nonprofit that fights HOA overreach. I lay out everything: spreadsheets, photos, video of the power line, footage of the fake cop. The intake coordinator just shakes her head. This is the most thorough harassment case I've ever seen. We'll take it pro bono. Eleanor drops by with a box of files, years of fines, threats, and, at the bottom, copies of property sales, all at a loss, all bought by the same realtor. Finch's wife. It's a racket, bully people out, buy cheap, flip for profit. I report it all to the state fraud unit. Day 19. Cecilia calls an emergency HOA meeting. A sympathetic board member leaks the agenda and leaves her phone recording on the table. I listen in. If we let this man stay, it sets a precedent. Finch, Cecilia, we have no standing legally. She snaps back. This isn't about one property. It's about power. It's about order. That's the confession. I sent a letter to every house in Stonehaven Estates, with every bit of evidence. No drama, just facts. The floodgates open. Calls from neighbors, stories of threats, abuse, bogus fines. One neighbor shows me a financial statement, $87,000 in administrative costs. Embezzlement. Then, the big twist, Finch himself calls me. I need to talk. Off the record. He confesses he had no idea how deep it went. I just thought we were enforcing standards. I went along because it was easier than fighting. You want to make it right? I ask. Testify. Cooperate. That night, Finch sends me 6 years' worth of internal emails, fake law firms, manipulated budgets, payments to Cecilia's family. 27 days in, the whole thing explodes. Emergency general meeting, packed house. Cecilia sits at the front, jaw clenched so tight it might crack. Ray stands up, calm as ice, and presents the certified map. Any action against Mr. Harrington is harassment under state law. Cecilia leaps up, sputtering about disputed surveys. Do you have a certified county map that contradicts this one? Ray asks. Silence. My turn. I play the security footage, Cecilia and Finch posting the fake eviction, cutting the power. The video of the fake cop. Then the audio. This isn't about one property. It's about power. Someone in the crowd moves to remove Cecilia from a board. Before anyone can second it, Cecilia snaps. She's screaming, pointing at me, calling the cops on speaker in front of everyone. Chaos erupts. Real police arrive. Cecilia tries to paint me as the villain. Ray hands over a USB stick. Everything, fraud, harassment, impersonation. The cop turns to Cecilia. Ma'am, you need to come with us. We'll sort it out at the station. And just like that, she's done. She walks out, shoulders slumped, crowd silent, until someone starts clapping and the whole place erupts. The legal fallout is fast. The state confirms embezzlement. Charges pile up. Harassment, trespassing, vandalism, impersonating law enforcement, embezzlement, attempted real estate fraud. The trial lasts 4 days. Eleanor testifies about the gnome. Finch details everything. They play the fake cop video for the jury. I just tell the truth. When Cecilia's attorney asks if I regret it, I say, I'm sad for the choices she made, but I don't regret defending my rights. The jury doesn't take long. Guilty on all 6 charges. Sentencing is cold and final. 18 months in county jail, $125,000 in fines, a permanent ban from HOA boards, and restitution, including every dollar she cost me. The judge's words stick with me. You abused a position of trust. Your sentence reflects the harm you caused. 6 months later, I'm on my porch watching the garden bloom. The house finally feels like mine, not just because my name's on the deed, but because I stood my ground. The HOA's cleaned up its act. The bylaws are fair. Eleanor comes over for tea. The street's quiet. Sometimes Ray calls and asks, what if you just paid up? I think about it. I'd have saved myself trouble, maybe, but then Cecilia would have kept hurting people, unchecked. Walking away would have meant giving in to fear, letting her chase me off what I rightfully owned. Instead, I proved you can fight back. What about you? Ever had to stand up to a Karen or some power-hungry wannabe with nothing but paperwork and backbone? Did you dig your heels in or walk away for peace? Drop your story in the comments. I want to know where you draw the line between community and individual rights. Let's get the debate rolling.